Hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to EDUC 385 History, Culture, and Society, which is an introduction to teaching social studies. Social studies tends to be an underrated subject to teach at school because it doesn't get tested as readily as reading and math, but it is one of my favorite subjects. It hasn't always been, though. When I was a student, it wasn't fun at all. It was rote learning, memorizing the textbook, and the textbook was always old and full of information that wasn't really true. And I never really enjoyed social studies. And I decided when I became a teacher, I would make it exciting for my students, and I also want to make it exciting for you to learn as well how to teach it, to make it exciting, integrating it into other subject areas. Because I know sometimes we run out of time in a day and social studies is excluded from the schedule or only 1 or 2 days a week when it can be 5 days a week and integrated into reading, into math, and you'll see how we can do those kind of things during this term. By the way, my name is Andy Stuck, and I'm going to walk you through Blackboard and also the syllabus. I'm going to try to do it quickly. I will talk fast probably. You may have to listen to it a second time, but if you catch everything, you will be able to move on. So we're going to start off, we're on the home page in Ultra Blackboard. I don't know if you've worked in Ultra yet. Ultra is where the university is headed in regards to its management system for courses. They're giving us a year where you don't have to be in it if you don't want, but I took advantage of the training this summer, worked really hard, and used my fall classes as my guinea pig classes, and it turned out really well, and I'm hoping this term will turn out as well. And always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me along the way. We're on the home page, as I think I've said, and I'm looking at the menu on the right side, which is the main menu. And there you'll see the syllabus, the weekly schedule. We're going to talk about the syllabus in just a minute. You'll see the weekly learning modules, the major assignments. This is an online class, so every week you will have 3 to 5 individual assignments, not assignments, activities to complete about a topic. And then you may have a major assignment due that week as well. So you need to look at the weekly schedule and find out when things are due, and I'll point that out to you in just a second. And you will click on this module right here every single week to see the new work. And what I do usually is start it on a Friday evening at 11:59. You can wait up for it if you want to start right away. You will have 9 days to complete it. The week. So you'll have Friday, Saturday, and then and Sunday. You'll then have Monday through Friday, and then another Saturday and Sunday. But what you will see is that in that second weekend, when you're finishing up the module, the new module for the next week will be opening. You don't have to start it right away, but I just don't want you to feel confused. Why is week 2 on when I'm still working in week 1? But that is how I do it for this class, so you can get a head start. I would not procrastinate. It doesn't do you well to wait to Sunday of the very last day to try to complete the module because you may not be able to. There's about 5 hours worth of work each week to do, plus in addition your major assignments. But this is where you will click on to see those. The major assignment descriptions and the drop boxes where you will post all your assignments are in this folder. This is major assignments. We're going to be talking about objectives and lesson plans and writing objectives and writing lesson plans. So in this folder you will see the information for that. We're also going to be spending some time on social, emotional, cultural learning. I think the social, emotional curriculum is as equally important, if not important, than the academic curriculum. And when kids have a grasp in the social, emotional learning, their academics will be superior. And this has been shown by research with schools or classes where the teacher spent some time working on routines and expectations and how kids are feeling and learning about their emotions and how the brain works. And those classes, the results from the data shows that they academically are superior to the classes who don't spend time in social emotional learning. So I include that in all of my classes, and if you're in both of my classes this term, you'll get a double dosage of it, but that is okay. And then I have a folder on anti-racism resources, and there's just a whole variety of resources here that would help you out if you are thinking about race and the implications and all that's been happening. You're welcome to use any of these resources and copy them and take them with you, whatever the case may be. And last but not least, the last folder is information about Wilson Library. We have a wonderful, wonderful librarian, Shelley. She has a beautiful last name that I will not pronounce because I always butcher it, but she's a wonderful librarian, and she can help you out very easily. She wants to do that. She loves Lefevre College of Education and is our librarian for the college. There's also information about our major, the Educational Studies major, in a handbook, an up-to-date handbook. So if you have any questions about the major and want to look in that, you're welcome to do that. And there's just a little bit more information about me as well as your instructor. So I'm going to share the syllabus immediately, and I'm going to go through it very quickly. You're welcome to peruse it at your leisure when you, as you have time. Again, you'll download that, and then once it downloads, we'll click on to open it. And I'm just going to make it a little bit larger. Maybe it'll be easier for you to see. So this is Education 385, History, Culture, and Society. I am Andy Steck. I am your instructor. I have office hours on Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. But some of you might work. Some of you that says, oh, that's not a convenient time for me. I will make it as convenient as possible for you, and I can either, we will be Zooming, so I can click on Zoom and send you the link, and we can meet and talk any time you need to do that. I'll make that arrangement, and I'll be available for you as best as I can be without having meetings and those kind of things that I have to be at as well. But my main priority is you and you being successful in the course. And saying that, even though you may say, oh, I can't do the 11 a.m., I will be very happy to meet with you at any time that you need to meet with me. These are goals, and I'm going to let you read through those at your leisure again. I want to talk a little bit about the mission of Lefevre College. It champions social equity for youth, adults, families, and communities by equipping and empowering scholarly, high-skilled practitioners, education advocates, and leaders. You might see this building on campus. This is where our dean resides in her office, as well as some classrooms. These are the core dispositions and values of our college. You can probably see the one that I focus on tremendously. I do touch on the others as well, but you can see the social emotional learning is a disposition that I think is so important. There is no priority or there's no level of importance in this. They're all equally important, but I do strongly feel, and I have worked in the last 15 years teaching teachers about the social emotional curriculum and how to integrate that into the academics and into the learning in the classroom. We'll move ahead. Our textbook is a brand new textbook. I just started using it last semester. It is the 11th edition for the Dynamic Social Studies. And it's, I think, a great textbook to learn about how to teach social studies. Again, you can borrow it if you know anybody who has it from last semester, or you can rent it, or you can find it online. You can buy the physical copy, whatever works. We will be using it. I have copied, by copy law rights, the first chapter for you this week so that you don't have to hurry. You don't have to panic that you don't have it for this first week. But after this first week, I can't copy the text after that, and you will need to have a copy of it. You will use it. You'll be reading a chapter every single week, and sometimes 2 chapters. So I just want you to have that as a resource and make sure that you are understanding that it will be used. It's not just something I'm asking you to buy and set it aside and only use it once or twice in the course. A lot of the information that I ask for you to look for comes from the textbook. Again, the course description that this is a multidisciplinary and social studies curriculum. I want you to know that we integrate social studies into all of the content areas, and that way kids get social studies. It's important you'll find out why it's important for the students to learn about social studies, and is that as a course. These are the course objectives. Again, I won't go through all of them, but they are all linked to one of the major assignments or to a weekly activity, and you'll see that along the way. If you don't see one of these objectives in the course, please let me know, and I will help guide you to where I think that might be met, that learning outcome might be met. I'm going to keep moving here. These are the course assignments. Now, these are the major assignments. They're not the weekly assignments. As I said earlier, you'll have 3 to 5 individual activities a week, maybe, and also probably a group activity. I know sometimes it's hard to have a group activity and that get all the group together to work on it, but it is one of the requirements that was asked of me when I became a certified online teacher, was to have group work. So you will see that. I know sometimes it's frustrating. Hopefully your group will work well together. You will get credit if you submit your portion of the group work. The people who don't, if there is a problem, won't, and I will probably be texting them or emailing them or even calling them to find out what's going on, because I want the whole group to be successful. But anyways, these are the assignments. You're going to start off with a major assignment. It's due week 3. I wouldn't wait till week 3, but I would go to the major assignments folder, open that up, and find the annual pacing schedule. You'll see the Dropbox. You will see the description that of how you proceed to complete this project, and then you will also see some exemplars. You also see some templates, because you're welcome to use the template that is offered there, and then you will go ahead and work on this assignment. There's another assignment called the Twin Text Experience, and you're going to actually pick 2 books that are similar and that you would use for a topic in class. Which one would you use first? Which one would you use second? It could be a fiction, nonfiction. It could be 2 nonfiction books. That's up to you to decide, and there's information you'll write about the books and how you will use them. You will go on a cultural learning experience. I know we're in the pandemic, and I want you to stay safe and follow all the safety protocols, so it can be a virtual cultural learning experience. If you want to go physically, you just need to let me know where you're going, what you're doing, and how you'll stay safe, because my priority is to keep you safe. I don't want you to go out to have a cultural learning experience and end up not being well after it, and it's not my goal at all. So you're welcome to do something physically, but you need to let me know about that first, because I want to make sure you're not going to a crowded place, and I want to make sure you can have social distancing, and you'll wear your mask and do all those things. But you can also have a virtual experience and explore some websites and write about those. That information is here. I would not just look at this information. I would also look at the information that is in the Cultural Learning Experience folder under the major assignments. I talked about lesson plans. Here's one you're going to create. It's called the Integrated Lesson Plan. You're going to integrate another subject area with social studies. That looks like it's due week 7. You're also going to create a unit plan. Unit plans are large umbrellas over where you will spend 2 weeks on a topic maybe, and you'll see that in your annual pacing schedule. And then what you'll do is develop a plan for that unit. You'll put in lots of different activities, objectives, goals. You'll have standards. You will also then write 3 lesson plans that are sequential for that topic. You may do a week of 12 lessons for that topic. I'm asking you to write 3 in that week. So you're going to have to look for research a lot of activities for that topic, that unit, whatever that you are creating, and then you're going to submit that to me. Again, that is also in the major assignments folder. The technology investigation has become extra credit. It's a fun a project for you to investigate some technology that a social studies would use. If you do want to do this assignment, you will get extra credit, up to 100 points extra if you work on this assignment, but it's not one that you will need to do, but I do offer as extra credit. The community service is very important. You should know from the start that you need to have 20 hours or I think it says 15, I'm sorry, we lowered it a little bit since we've had the pandemic. It is 15 hours of some community service. And you need to let me know what you're doing ahead of time, again, because if it's physical, maybe you're going to get groceries for a relative every week, or you're spending time tutoring, or you're actually going out and doing something. Maybe you're helping with a food bank or a food drive. Those are all things you can do. You need to do it this semester, though. It can't be something you did in the summer or last year or even in the fall. It has to be something you're doing now. So you need to think about that ahead of time, start preparing for it, and you need to put 15 hours in, and that's in a 10-week period. So if you wait for the last 3 weeks, you're going to be working 5 hours a day trying to complete this. This is a university requirement. I offer this in my class so you don't have to take the 1-hour community service class that you have to take when a major does not offer community service. So you are fortunate you don't have to take that extra hour. It's included in this class, but you must complete this assignment to get that credit. And it has to be done this term. So start thinking about it now. If you need to talk to me about it, I am glad to visit with you and share more specifics if you need that. Again, this is in the major assignment folder. Check that out. Just don't count on the syllabus. I know sometimes we just look at that. The last but not least, most important assignment is your final exam, which is an e-portfolio. You probably have one from another class that you may have put an assignment in, but in this class you're going to put all the major assignments, those that I just went over. You're going to write a brief reflection that you're going to put in your e-portfolio, and then you're going to have a resource page of resources you found along the way. Maybe you found them on your own, maybe you took them off a Blackboard that I offered them, and you're going to put in a page or a portion of your page for history, culture, and society in this e-portfolio, and then you're going to screencast this so that I can hear you talk about what was the most your favorite assignment, which was your least favorite, or the most challenging, which one best represents you as a teacher teaching social studies. That information, again, is here, but it's more specified in the major assignments folder. And I'm going to repeat that over and over because sometimes my students just look at the syllabus and go by the syllabus. This is just an introduction to these assignments and what you need to be done. Here's a quick look at the assessment at the projects that will be due. Here is a conversion from percentage to a letter grade. This is the University Diversity Statement, which I think is very important. I hope you will read and take to heart. We have a Title IX for sexual harassment, any of those kind of things, and we have a manager, and you can refer to that if you feel that you have been discriminated against in any way. There's a social justice form here as well. And if you have a disability and would like to have some extra services, I would check out the accessibility services. If you need accommodation for the class, I will be able to accommodate you very easily, but I want you to go through the formal aspects of getting the accommodation so that every single class offers you that accommodation and not just me. You'll say, oh, Dr. Steck, Andy will offer the accommodation, but the next professor won't. So go to the Accessibility Services Director, get the forms you need to completed, and have this on hand so you get the accommodations you need for each class. I believe accommodations levels the playing field for you. It's just like if you needed glasses and you didn't wear them, you would be at a disadvantage. So please be at an advantage and take advantage of the accessibility services if you need them. Here are several policies. Academic honesty, give people credit for if you decide to use their work. It's great. You would want, if it was your own work, you'd want somebody to give you credit for it. And that's when plagiarism comes in. Don't plagiarize. Attendance, every week you're on class and working on the work, and I grade it the following Monday. Usually I spend Monday and Tuesday the following week grading all of the work that has been submitted to me for that week. That's how you get credit for being in class. If you don't do the work, then I don't think you attended the class online, and we don't meet synchronously, so you won't see me readily. I may decide to have 1 or 2 meetings this semester if we could find a common time. There's not one listed in the schedule, so I'm not anticipating to do that for you. But if as a class you want to meet together to talk about something, I would be very happy to do that. There is a late work policy, but I am very flexible. I understand that sometimes life doesn't travel in the way we want it to, and we do get disruptions or obstacles along the way. I'm very willing to allow late work to be accepted. Please, please, please don't take advantage of that though, because then I will need to talk to you about what's going on in your life and how we can make it better. I don't need to know about your personal life unless you want to share it with me, but we need to figure out a way you're going to get back on schedule and get work accomplished in these 10 weeks that I meet with you. And I think that's it for the syllabus. I'm just going to go back to the Blackboard. Again, here's the weekly schedule. If you click on this, you'll see what topics we're going to talk about. You're going to see what assignments are due and when they are due. This is an important, in fact, I will click on it right now so that I'll take the time to do that so you can see that. And here it is here. So the first 2 weeks we don't have any major assignments due, but start reading chapters 1, reading chapters 2. But third week, the annual pacing schedules due. Is a major assignment. You need to spend more than probably a week working on it. My students don't anticipate how much work goes into it. They are challenged by it. In the end, most of them have say it's the one they're the proudest of. It does give you the umbrella of what teaching social studies looks like through a whole year at a grade level. You get to pick the grade level, and then you get to pick the units and where you want to place them during the year. You'll see templates that you are welcome to use. You'll see some exemplars of other students who have done that. So please know, there's almost a major assignment due almost every week, and there are chapters to be read every single week. That's why I said the textbook is important. I have chapter 1 already in week 1, and you will be viewing the next video about what to do specifically in week 1. I'm going to end the video now. I think I've covered everything that I think is important. If you have questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask me. Email me, let me know what it is. If we need to meet, I may contact you and say I do need to meet with you to go over a specific assignment or go over a specific activity. And that's how I work as the instructor. I wish you much success this term, and I'll see you online.